listens to the Artist of Life and Arts by Ms. Poesy Liang to share us her experience and also the featured art of these arts beyond science.
Okay, I'd like everyone to relax. Don't look at your phones. You can put your cameras down.
Take your photograph.
It's fine, I'll post later. Okay, close your eyes, everyone. Relax. Close your eyes. Let your eyes take a minute break. Now, listen to the sound of my voice. Can you tell anything from how I sound? Listen to the sounds around you. Can you tell who's sitting or standing, slouching, eating or yawning? Listen to the sounds outside. Well, we can't hear anything outside now. For some people, this is their life, their entire life, and for what you might experience as an inconvenience, some might consider a superpower. The ability to hear sounds and surroundings in a way no other can. Today, I'll be talking about the blind and visually impaired. While I'm a person with sight, I've come to admire and become close with people in the blind community, getting to know them through their stories, from judgments to struggles to joys. So you can open your eyes now. First, I'd like to thank YB for officiating my exhibition. Thank you to the members of the media for taking the time to be here. Today is an uncommon day for me because it's not often that I find myself seated next to a politician in a press conference. I'm an artist and I'm often more focused on expression than governance. So it's great that we're here today, united for the arts and humanity. And I'm here for a cause that is close to my heart, which is to raise empathy for the blind and visually impaired. It is an honor to be the solo artist for Art Beyond Sight this year. Mr. Stevens Chan of Dialogue in the Dark was first connected to me by the Singapore International Foundation as well. I'd like to thank them both for this opportunity. For those who hasn't met me yet, I will offer a brief introduction of why I'm here. I am a founder of a social experiment started on Facebook 11 years ago. It was a movement based on random acts of kindness. I wrote the policy with 4 simple rules: no fundraising, no commerce, no religion, and no politics. My movement spread to more than 20 countries. In Malaysia alone, I throw an average of 1,200 volunteer events per year for the first 6 years. The activities were run without a production budget, and we were designed for volunteers who are willing to do random acts of kindness and to serve the marginalized community. It was my first of many portfolios of a new kind of art performance. A senior curator, who's also the commissioner of arts for the city of Dallas, he coined my work as the art of life, and it gave me many invitations to different countries to create more movements and to grace the stage of global humanitarian summits at the United Nations in New York. As an artist, we can say that kindness is my art, despite my preceding reputation of a very wicked human mind. I have always been curious to work with the blind. My first project with the blind was exactly 7 years ago, when I spent my summer in San Francisco. I persuaded a bunch of big-name jazz musicians to perform a free concert for 100 blind audience inside a borrowed canteen. The immense reward from that humble project brought me clarity. It was the kind of clarity about life that you will experience when you gain new perspective, not with your eyes, but with your consciousness. That perspective came to me when I tried to empathize what it was to be blind. Ever since then, I have a strong belief that the blind can often see a life situation far more clearly than someone who has eyesight. More often than not, our eyesight causes us confusion because it makes us judgmental human beings. The eyes receive images, which communicate messages that may or may not be intended. We may be influenced by what we see, and then our perceptions and attitudes are impacted. But take that sight away, and the distraction of stereotype changes completely. Our intuition will become sharper. When Mr. Stevens Chan approached me about doing this exhibition, I saw the opportunity of gifting this extraordinary dimension to the Malaysian public. While normally I charge a fee for my public speaking engagements and exhibitions, for this, it was different. I was compelled to join the cause. Today is also uncommon because the exhibition we're launching is my self-portrait in the dark. If you're observant, I use a mobility scooter to get around. My story has been told many times in the media, but not the way I'm about to share with you today. A few years ago in Hong Kong, a prominent collector of Chinese contemporary art from Switzerland gave me an important piece of career advice. He told me to share my life story. What he said to me was no different to what the agents, book publishers, and filmmakers said to me over the decades. But speaking to someone who understood and supported artists inspired me to write my own rules. I did not want a 100-minute movie or a boring old book. So 4 years ago, I decided to draw a short animation film titled Poesy Anime, slated for global release on social media. This short movie was only going to be 5 minutes long. I wanted it to be short since our general attention span these days is also very short. Today, you'll be hearing the soundtrack of this film before anyone else. This script has gone around the globe, and it took 14 writers, 2 years, to shorten my life into 5 minutes. To shape the narration, we had a script writer who consults for Disney, a film school professor from a Texas university, while others were media producers and journalists who had interviewed me in great length. Needless to say, I had to personally sit through many hours of counseling. I self-fund this production by selling my artwork, painting on the sidewalks in Europe and traveling between 3 continents each year, just painting my way. The final copy of this soundtrack was recorded in London last year, with a special music director, who was also the last music director of the late great songstress Teresa Ting. To date, I've spent close to 22,000 US on this production, with most of the top professionals offering their services for free. And now I'm offering this exhibition to the Malaysian public for free. Well, it is my birthday, and we consider this my gift to my home country, Malaysia. So when you enter into the pitch black room later, know that you're sharpening your senses by temporarily taking away your sight. You're not pretending to be disabled, but instead, think about expanding your abilities in that darkness. Rest your eyes and let your consciousness take over. I hope you will gain insights from your experience and tell all your friends about it on social media, on traditional media, and please come back again with friends and your teenage children. The exhibition is suitable for children 12 years and upwards. And it will be open from 11 to 7 p.m. every day until Hari Merdeka. So don't waste this opportunity. Before I end, I would like to thank the blind guides who will be walking you through the darkroom experience. They're seated right here, 4 of them. They will only be earning a small allowance each day for the entire month to present this experience to you. So I'd like to encourage people to donate to Dialogue in the Dark so they'll be compensated fairly. You will see the main character of Poesy Anime printed on the t-shirts for sale. They're not here today, but they will be brought in once we start to the public. So those printed t-shirts are also to raise funds. So I'd like to leave you with a favorite quote of mine. If you ever find yourself in complete darkness, you're better off being led to the end of the tunnel by someone blind. So go forth and have a unique experience that only you belongs to you. Thank you.